A.J. Burnett. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway.
Just a few moments ago, you heard Buck Showalter, the Orioles manager, talk about the fact that some people have gotten healthy. Maybe that's why the Orioles are playing better. And no better example than Brian Roberts, who, speaking of healthy, he just fouled the ball off his foot and is limping around. But Roberts, this is only his 42nd game of the year. The Orioles had, I think Kim Jones reported on the pregame, 4 other players bat leadoff this year. None of them had the skill sets of Brian Roberts, and he was sorely missed. And this is what he's done over the last 5 seasons. One of the best leadoff hitters in the league.
A lot of doubles, a lot of stolen bases. And the 0-2. 1-2. Orioles are 51-86, but under Showalter they are 19-13. He took over on August 3rd. Former Yankee manager, Texas Rangers, Arizona Diamondbacks, and now the Baltimore Orioles. Fouled away.
Yeah, before Buck took over, you could see Roberts still limping at the effects of that foul ball off his right foot or right instep. Before Buck Showalter took over, the Orioles, Michael, were probably headed for an historically bad season. During the course of the early part of the year, they were being compared to the '62 Mets, and they were kind of running a neck and neck with that record that the Mets had way back in the days when they were 40-120.
And that was the Mets' first year.
Yeah, it was.
The one bad thing out of the Orioles winning the way they have, they lost the #1 draft pick to the Pirates, it seems like, as Roberts swings and misses. Good breaking ball from A.J. Burnett. Hey, let's look at the game-time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. In a word, it's gorgeous. Number 77 is the temperature, humidity 32%. The winds out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour, and the forecast is for sunny skies. So that's a little higher than 77. But 77 is the reading in the city right now, and obviously it's about 90 on the field.
Kind of feels like San Diego, doesn't it?
Beautiful.
Oh, my goodness.
But the Yankees haven't lost 10 in a row. Here's Felix, PA. There's a strike. You know, only 2 teams in baseball history have lost 10 in a row and gone on to make the playoffs. And the last one to do it was Joe Torre's Atlanta Braves in 1982.
But they got off to a great start.
Yes. The 0-1. Pitch is high, 1-1 to PA.
Felix PA is another one of the players. He missed quite a bit of time this year. He had a muscle detached from a bone in his back, and that took him about 2 or 3 months to recover. And he's playing well since he's come back to the Oriole lineup.
There's a strike. Early on, you could tell, at least in the first inning, Burnett has a good fastball and good command of his breaking pitch.
Yeah, good breaking pitch to strike out Brian Roberts.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another good breaking pitch. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts.
And 2 nasty breaking balls. He has one of the better breaking balls in the field. Look at the drop on that one. Straight down, out of the strike zone. Looks like a strike, but then it isn't. Trying to get these left-handed hitters to chase, and PA follows the lead of Roberts. 2 up and 2 strikeouts.
So here's Markakis. 8 for his last 26. One of the building blocks for the Orioles. They have him signed to a long-term deal. And there's a strike.
If A.J. continues to hit the outside corner and then comes back with that breaking ball inside to the lefties, he's going to be tough to handle.
And the 0-1. Grounded to short. Jeter. And that's a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett. And the Yankees. Orioles go down in order. Orioles nothing. And the Yankees coming to bat. but not this time. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Let's see the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. They lead off their captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira's at first base, hitting third. The cleanup hitter, third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing left field, Marcus Tim. Jorge Posada will DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Francisco Cervelli. And Brett Gardner at center field is going to bat ninth.
A rookie on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles today will be facing the captain, Derek Jeter. Will lead it off for the Yankees. Brian Mattis, 23 years old. He's making his 21st start against a team with a winning record. That's the most in the league. And you can see his season thus far, and it breaks down kind of awkwardly during the course of the year. Got off to a great start, but he's got an August award. He was the rookie pitcher of the month in August, going 4-1, kind of a bounce back month, because May, June, and July, he was 1-10 in those 3 months. Even when he pitched well, the team didn't play well, and he would lose. And he leads the Orioles in all rookies in strikeouts with 117.
And he will square off against Derek Jeter back in the leadoff spot. Derek, 3 for 24 on this homestand, 4 for his last 42. And the pitch. There's a strike from Mattis. Since the expansion era began in 1961, Yankees 33-26 on Labor Day. The 0-1. There's a strike. 0-2. Home plate umpire is Laz Diaz. I don't think Jeter really liked that call.
Michael, you were talking about the fact that the Orioles might have lost the overall #1 draft pick. With Wieters catching and Mattis pitching, they're the #1 draft picks in back-to-back years of the Orioles.
The 0-2, way outside.
Wieters was in 2007 out of Georgia Tech, and Mattis, the pitcher, out of University of San Diego in 2008. And here they are in the big leagues.
And the 1-2. Driven into right center field, giving chase on the run is Patterson. He can't get there. It splits the outfielders and goes to the wall, and Jeter picks himself up a double. That is a Jeterian double.
Well, it looked like a pitch up and out over the plate. Yeah, Jeter gets on top of this one and runs it up the gap. This is headed for Gap City and right center. And you can see that Patterson is playing a few steps that way, but this is hit so well, he doesn't have a chance. Ball a couple of hops off the wall in right center, and it's a stand-up lead-off double for the Yankee captain, Derek Jeter. And for him, that's hit number 2,897.
So here's Nick Swisher. Nick has been bothered past couple of days with a sore left knee. Now back in the lineup, had a very good batting practice, hit a lot of balls in the seats. Pitch is inside, 1-0. Joe Girardi is enjoying the way his team's playing. They did not lose ground yesterday despite the loss, as the Orioles beat the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Red Sox suffered a heartbreaking loss when they allowed 4 runs in the 9th inning to the Chicago White Sox. So the White Sox swept the Red Sox. So the Yankees keep their 2.5 game lead over Tampa Bay in the East. One outside.
Yeah, I was watching part of that Oriole game yesterday against Tampa Bay, as well as the Yankees going back and forth, and the Orioles actually lost the lead in that game. And I think early in the year, the game would have been over. They would have lost it. But yesterday came back with a 4-run inning and retook the lead and then held on to beat Tampa Bay.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
And they took the series 2 out of 3.
Under Showalter, they are 8-2 in series openers. We told you 19-13. Under Manu Mattis, the Yankees for 4 years. 19 years in the Yankee organization as a player and a coach. The 2-2. Missed inside.
Last year, Mattis beat the Yankees in his first ever start against them, but this year, not quite as successful. He is 0-3 against the Yankees. He lost twice in May and once in June.
Three-two. Foul back. But check out the defense behind Mattis. And the Orioles defense brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got PA, Patterson, and Markakis. That's left to right. Infield, Josh Bell, Asturias, Robertson, Wigginton, third to first. Leaders behind the plate, and Mattis is on the mound.
That better amend that. He lost April, May, and June. Each one of those months, the Yankees.
3-2. Strike three. Swisher down looking.
Swisher back in the lineup. He takes one over the outside corner, knee high for call, strike three. We'll take a look. Yeah, it does catch the plate, quite a bit of it, and it was high enough.
It was right down the middle. I would say, Kenny, that got 8.5 inches of the plate. Since it's 17 inches wide. Here's Mark Teixeira. And Mattis steps off. Teixeira looking for RBI number 100.
He's had a good homestand. 10 hits and 21 at-bats. Michael, when you think of the way that Teixeira got off in April
and May,
you would have thought 100 runs batted in was like 200 or 300 away.
I think part of the reason he's at this place, though, I listened to his interviews that he did with Cam after the game. Never gave up.
It's up here.
He always felt that, no, I'm going to get the numbers I always get. That's just the way it is. Never, ever beat himself up.
Part of being a good hitter is having confidence that you'll eventually get things going.
And you could call it ego. You can call it confidence. You could call it flipping over the baseball card and see what you do every year. And he never lost faith in himself. 2 months of non-production. And here he is, the 1-1. 2-1.
He is 1 run batted in from 100, and that would give him his 5th 100 runs scored, 100 RBI season.
The 2-1. 2-1-2.
Yeah, that hung a little bit, and Mattis was kind of lucky to get that one back or get a new ball that was fouled off. Just a little late. Didn't recognize it quite quickly enough.
Alex Rodriguez on deck. The 2-2. Grounded foul. Just missed Rob Thompson. Cat-like reflexes on Robbie.
You know, we're getting used to the last few years of seeing the base coaches wear helmets. And you got to think about all the years of them not wearing helmets.
What makes you think of all the years that batters didn't wear helmets?
That's exactly true. I think batting helmets didn't come into vogue until the early 50s.
Ball boys have to wear the batting helmets now too, which is smart. High fly ball, center field. Patterson is there. He'll make the play for the second out.
Well, he's had a couple of good swings during this at bat, and another one just a hair late. And he knows that that was a pretty good pitch to hit. You can tell by the reaction. Yeah, man, wish I could have that back. Just got to hope you get it again a little later on in the game and you recognize it a little quicker and you get out there and get it. Drive it somewhere.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Had an RBI in yesterday's game. His first day off the DL. Alex very familiar with Buck Showalter. Buck actually managed Alex in Texas. High fly ball, left field. Just missed that one. Felix P.A. stares into the sun and makes the play for the final out of the first. So the leadoff double by Jeter is wasted. No runs a hit. One man left. We played one. There's no score at the stadium on Yes. And let's look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Cell Express. Enjoy the journey. Finally, a night game. This is the 5th day game in a row. But the Orioles will be here tomorrow night, and then Wednesday afternoon back in the day. Thursday is a travel day. Yankees head to Texas, 3 games, and then 3 games against the Rays in St. Pete. Another travel day, Thursday the 16th, and they'll face these same Orioles 3 games at Camden Yards.
I hope it's not as hot in Texas as it was the first time through there.
So why?
My goodness.
A.J. Burnett with an impressive first inning. And he struck out 2, retired the side in order, and here's Luke Scott. Now, Labor Day being celebrated today. It honors the social and economic contributions of the American worker. And recent research reports that Matthew McGuire, Secretary of the Central Labor Union in New York, and from Paterson, New Jersey, actually proposed the holiday. And the first Labor Day was September 5th, 1892 in New York City. And Congress passed a bill that President Grover Cleveland signed, and the federal holiday began in 1894. And you kids thought school started tomorrow. That one's popped up and out of play. Now, there is something about Labor Day and baseball. Since 1995, the Elias Sports Bureau says that 80% of the teams in first place on Labor Day end up winning their division. So 80%. Now, it is a little bit flawed, though, Kenny, because Labor Day is different every year, which means there are different games remaining, and different teams have different leads each year. But we're going with 80% if you're in first place. You usually win the division. Yeah, there are some mileposts during the course of the baseball season that you look to and see where your team is located in the standings. As Scott draws a walk. Memorial Day, the 4th of July, and Labor Day. And on Labor Day, the Yankees are in first place in the East. They lead the Rays by 2.5, 2 in the loss column, and the Red Sox, a rough weekend against the White Sox, they are 10 back. I'll tell you what, once you get the 10 back, I think when you fall behind by double figures, although there's a wild card involved here, it gets to be a psychological deal. 10 games behind, you start to, that's not good. There's Matt Wieters. And the pitch is low, 1-0.
When you start falling behind by 7 games, you got to figure that everything has to go exactly right for you in 1 week. You have to win every game during a week, and your opponents who are in first place, they have to lose all 7 now for you to catch up. So you start to run out of time in September.
Leaders with a big cut, 1-1.
Unless you're chasing the San Diego Padres.
Skywriting overhead. It does say Michael K. It does. Hi, Michael K. But I don't know if it says something bad after that.
What did it say before it?
I don't know. It says, hi, Michael K. Something about Geico. Wow. Very smart by Geico. Say my name, get free advertising. Oh, they're our sponsors, so they can do it.
Oh, they pay.
The 2-1. Pitch is outside 3-1.
Oh, boy, at that game. Wieters has been on the hot streak. He's got a 7-game hitting streak going. It's about this time last year he got hot. He hit 343 in September of 09. Close out the season.
And a walk, so a great first inning for AJ, and then he walks the first 2 batters in the second. And these first 2 innings are almost a microcosm of his season. I mean, he looked unhittable in the first inning. Well, IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
When you break down AJ's season, in April, May, and July, those 3 months, he was a combined 9-3. But in June and August, didn't win a game. 0-10 in those 2 months. He's been kind of streaky.
Count 1-0. There's a strike. Good pitch. Just hit the outside corner.
Target by Cervelli, and let's take a look. This is close. In fact, it was a little outside. So AJ got a break on that one. Got the call from Laz Diaz.
Swing and a miss. Count 1-2 on Wigginton.
And you know what? Now he's forced Wigginton to go after that pitch, and maybe it was the exact same pitch off the plate, but he swung at it for strike 2. See if you can lead him out there once again.
The 1-2 pitch. He did try to push the envelope, but Wigginton didn't go out there, so the count 2-2.
Yeah, he didn't quite get that one close enough to the strike zone to get Wigginton to chase it. Wigginton, the only all-star for the Orioles this year. He got off to a great start. In fact, when they were struggling, he was about the only guy on the team that was hitting. Made the all-star team. He's got 20 home runs. 4th time in the last 5 years he's had at least 20.
The 2-2. High fly ball. Fairly deep right center. A long run for Gardner. He makes the play. Tagging is Luke Scott. He goes to third. Wigginton really gave that a ride.
You know, one thing you'll notice, and Michael, you talked about it yesterday, humidity's down here at the stadium, and I think the heavy air is gone, so the ball's going to travel a little bit more. And I didn't think Wigginton hit it all that well, but it got about halfway to the warning track in right center field. Saw, what, 3 home runs in yesterday's game by Toronto? Ball is carrying here at the stadium with the lack of humidity.
Here's Corey Patterson. First and third with 1 out. Patterson fairly straight away. Jeter's a step or 2 up the middle. In the outfield, Gardner shades toward right center. Nice block by Cervelli. We're in the 2nd inning. Yankees against the Orioles on a beautiful Monday. And there's no score, but Baltimore is threatening.
Looking to double up Patterson. He runs very, very well. It's tough to double up.
High fly ball, shallow center. Jeter back. He'll make the play, and the run stay put.
Good pitch in on the hands. It got Patterson to pop it up in short center field. And certainly too short for the runners to advance. Here's the target, trying to jam him. And even though it leaks a bit back towards the middle, Patterson did not get good wood on it. You saw his reaction. He knows that's not good enough to get the runner in. Jeter, with the glasses and the glove, shielding his eyes from the sun. There is not a cloud in, well, I see a few cirrus clouds off in the distance. Oh, that's that Michael K name.
Just like me, going to be washed away. Here's Cesar Torres.
Hey, nobody lasts forever, Mike.
Well, now I'd like to try.
Well, you know, that's part of it.
Fouled away.
If AJ can get out of this 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and after walking the first 2 batters, I think that would be a boost to his confidence.
The 1-1. 2-1.
Torres is known primarily as a glove man, and usually you see him batting 9th, but it's a rookie, Josh Bell, who draws that assignment today. He's on deck.
Sliced the other way, and it bounces into the seats. Played by a Brett Gardner fan.
And the fans trying to encourage AJ to get himself out of trouble here in the 2nd.
And the 2-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. The breaking ball strikes out Torres. So the 2 walks do not come back to haunt A.J. Burnett. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left because of this strikeout as Torres could not hold up. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Hey, what's up?
Pick the Royals. Do I think they'll make it eventually with Buck? How long does Buck want to manage?
I don't know. Pitch to Cano is a strike.
I'll tell you what, they've got a better opportunity with him managing than some of the other guys I thought they had managing recently.
That's true. Popped up. First base side. Wigginton is there. One away.
And you see it in the way they're playing now. He's not going to take any excuses. And he's not going to take not hustling. You know, Mike Flanagan does the games for Baltimore on TV. He's here this afternoon at the stadium, and he was telling me that sometimes when you take a shot of Buck sitting on the bench, eerily he looks like Earl Weaver sitting on the bench. And Earl was a lot like that. Earl was a little more demonstrative in his language, but
hot shot off the bat of Timms. Josh Bell across the diamond. Why the perfect Buck story? Because we know Buck very well. He managed the Yankees for 4 years, and he built them up to the team that won those championships, he and Gene Michael. Well, when he got the Oriole job, he's sitting in the Oriole manager's office, and there's a huge picture of Camden Yards, full. A beautiful day. The Orioles are on the field, and Showalter calls in the clubhouse. Guys, I want this picture down tomorrow. The guy goes, it's been up here since the beginning of the first couple of weeks. And he goes, I want it down. And the guy says, can I ask you why? He goes, the bases are loaded against the Orioles. I want that down. That's a negative aspect. And that's Buck Showalter. Here's Jorge Posada.
Either that or put the, paint the uniforms, paint it over with the Orioles with the bases loaded.
Count is 0-1. So the picture's down. He was up for about 18 years.
13.
13?
13 straight losing seasons.
That's true. But, I mean, Camden Yards is 18, right? 92?
92.
Yeah. The 0-1. Count 1-1. Bottom of the second, there's no score. Last 14 games for Posada, 347 hitter, 4 home runs, and 12 runs batted in. Strike, 2-2. You can see Mattis doesn't throw very hard, but he's going to locate, he's going to change speeds, and that's what's going to make him effective. And also, he's left-handed. And the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3, and Posada is down looking. Well, Mattis has retired 6 in a row. That was a 1-2-3 inning, and he did it on just 8 pitches. We go to the third. No score. Orioles, and in the top of the third, we always visit with our good friend Kimberly Jones. She's down in the camera well, third base side. Kimberly, tell me about AJ. I know you spoke to AJ Burnett, and he's put up 2 zeros in the first 2 innings, and he kind of looks at that last start as the start of something good.
Yeah, he does, Michael, because he has to. I talked to AJ yesterday. He said that he started to feel comfortable his last start. He says, I look at this as a pretty good time of year for me to finally start feeling comfortable. AJ knows what his season has been to this point. We ask him about it all the time. He is always willing to be self-critical, and rightly so, the way this year has gone. He knows it is mind-boggling that he has not been able to string together 2 decent starts as Bell, oh my!
Oh, he could not hold on to the ball. Gardner could not hold on to the ball, so Bell gets himself a double. A long run for Gardner, but the contact with the ground caused the fumble, and he gets a nice hand for the effort, Kenny.
Yeah, he seemed to have it, but as soon as he hit the turf, the ball will pop out. And Josh Bell is going to have himself a 2-base hit leading off the 3rd inning. And there is A.J. Burnett reacting to the almost catch by Brett Gardner in center field. His first hit for Baltimore.
So continue on with that about A.J., Kim. Did he feel he found something in the last start?
I think just that comfort level, Michael, and he knows it's mind-boggling to all of us that he can't string together back-to-back wins. But he said, I'm not going to continue to ponder on the season I've had. He said, I'm not saying it's been all good by any means.
That one is lofted to left field. Tim's coming on. He's going to have to play it on a couple of hops as Josh Bell will advance to third. So a bloop single by Brian Roberts.
And AJ said, I'm not sugarcoating anything. I know the way the season's gone, but there's so much ahead of us. There's time for me to turn it around and make this a great personal season. As a team, we can still win a championship. So he's moving forward, Michael, not looking back.
All right, guy who's definitely not looking back is Andy Pettitte. What's the prognosis on Andy?
Well, Andy's bullpen went great today. That's obviously good news. On Wednesday, as long as he feels all right tomorrow, he will make a start in the AA playoffs for the Trenton Thunder. Dave Island told me, I hope he's nervous. Andy said, you know, he might be more nervous because he's never faced those minor league hitters. He also says, those kids at AA have had a great season. I don't want to mess it up. Joe Girardi says Andy will be limited to 4 innings or 65 pitches, whichever comes first. And it is likely, Joe said for the first time today, that Andy would require 2 rehab starts. They will hope that that AA team is still in the playoffs or they'll find something else for Andy. But it is likely he would need a second outing and then look at rejoining the Yankees. But as Joe said, if he feels great Wednesday and only needs 1, he only needs 1. We'll take him back.
You know, Kenny, I asked Joe yesterday, is it fair to throw a rehabbing Andy Pettitte into a playoff situation in AA and AAA after those guys have fought the whole year for that? And he looked at me and said, if I was a AA player, I think I'd want Andy Pettitte starting for me.
Yeah, I've heard of that before, where big league pitchers have actually rehabbed in the minor league playoff games.
Now, I know, Kim, that you spoke with Buck Showalter at length for the pregame show. And Buck, when he walked into the stadium today, it was like old home week for him, right?
Well, yeah, and what you're not telling everyone, Michael, is you spoke to him at length, too. It was just off camera. You and John Sterling made a visit during our interview, by the way, with Buck, but couldn't wait
Wait a second. Sterling interrupted you, not me.
Yeah, Sterling.
Okay, I was professional about it.
Yeah, if you say so. But Buck loved being back here. He loves being back here. You can tell he loves being back in uniform. Very fond memories. And he managed 7 current Yankees. So not only is he getting to know his team in his dugout, he knows a bunch of the guys on the other side. The core 4, of course, here. And then Teixeira, Alex, and Timms when he was with the Rangers. So very comfortable here with Buck.
There's Sterling. We're looking at him now along with Susan Waldman. John's very, very chic in his glasses. I could see that Buck was excited about this, Kim, and he obviously thinks he can turn around this Oriole team. How about that? Teixeira goes to second to try to get the double play. He definitely had the out at home, but decided to go for 2 as a run scores and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. Kenny, was that the right choice?
Right choice, because you take the outs, you figure the team's going to score. You don't want to have a big inning occur. So you're right, he did have a chance to stop Bell from scoring third base. But immediately he turned to go for the double play, even though PA hit the ball and runs pretty well. So a 3-6-3, and a run's going to score. He decides to take the 2 outs and diffuse an even bigger inning instead of going for the out at home and leaving 2 men on base.
Very quickly, Kim, he feels he can turn this around, right?
He says, we'll see. I mean, he didn't offer any guarantees, but the players say it's different now. They know they have a guy who's been there before. They had a lot of first-time managers all in a row. Now they have a guy who nothing's going to be for the first time as he sits in that dugout.
Great stuff, Kim. We'll hear from you later and on the postgame.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, there's Buck Showalter, William Nathaniel Buck Showalter.
That's a good point by Kim about the managers, previous managers all having the interim tag. No interim tag with Buck Showalter. And of course, he demands that the players make the right plays, play the game right, play hard, play smart. And I've been watching the Orioles for a week. They do run out balls a lot more than they used to, Michael. We've been watching them for years. And some of the guys that weren't really busting it down the line, but now that's not the case. And a lot of these guys, they know that the managers can outlast them. And they might not be back.
You know what? I understand what Buck has done for them, but that's quite an indictment of the players.
Exactly.
They should be able to play for anybody and play hard.
Exactly right.
That's disgraceful.
I think the difference is that Buck will get in your face about it, as opposed to the other guys who are just not going to do that.
Markakis with a ground ball to second. Cano over to Teixeira, and that will do it. But the Orioles get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 O's.
September 6, 1937, Lou Gehrig passes Babe Ruth on the Yankees all-time hits list with his 2,519th career hit. He held the record until 2009 when, of course, Derek Jeter broke it. Fans want to demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees.
There's number 4, Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse. So A.J. Burnett gives up a run in the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0. Orioles over the Yankees. Cervelli lines one into center field, and right there is Patterson for the first out.
And Cervelli's been hitting the ball a little bit better lately, but Patterson perfectly situated in center field makes the catch for the out.
Yeah, how about the guy in the blue shirt right there? Good old Jack Curry. And then 2 kids over is his wife Pam, his nephew Kyle. His friend's name is
Brandon.
Brandon,
yeah.
Or Brent.
Oh, Brent?
Yeah. So the Curry's just hanging out, watching the game. Pitch to Gardner is low, 1-0. Gardner's done a nice job leading off, but in this lineup against the lefty, they've dropped him down to 9. He's walked in 10 straight games. Count 1-1.
Yeah, which tells you right away he's been going deep into counts and helping to wear down the opposing pitcher. And then when he does get on with those walks, of course, he can create havoc on the bases.
Now, 2 strikes does not get him nervous, because with 2 strikes, he has actually fouled off 172 pitches. The only major leaguers to do that more often than Gardner are Ichiro, 210, Garrett Barton, 187, Jason Worth, 182.
He's done what? Fouled off?
Fouled off 172 2-strike pitches this year.
Makes you wonder how many thousands of people are working for Elias.
There's one.
There's enough. 173.
Seven in a row retired by Mattis after Jeter's leadoff double in the first. Gardner sees 4.62 pitches per plate appearance. That leads the majors. When he doesn't foul off that 2-strike pitch, he goes down swinging for the second out.
Yeah, Mattis is part of the resurgence the Orioles are looking for from their young starters. Some of them have certainly taken their lumps this year, including Mattis, who comes in with a record of 7-12, but he has won 3 in a row. And the Yankees are going to see 3 of their young pitchers in this series. Jake Arrieta is scheduled to pitch tomorrow against CC Sabathia, and then Brad Ferguson gets to start the finale of the series on Wednesday. So these are 3 of the young pitchers that the Orioles helped propel them up the standings in the American League Eastern Division.
Here's Derek Jeter. His last time up yesterday, he hit a fly ball to right. You know, kind of a humpback line drive. And if you want to try to find a positive, that seemed like a positive because that was a Jeterian swing. And then in the first inning, he built off that and drove a ball to right center, picked up a double. That's the Yankees' only hit in this game. There was a strike.
Yeah, during the course of your career, you have to make all kinds of adjustments, and when you're not hitting, something's not working right. You got to look for the right formula to get you going again. You can't continue to do the same thing over and over again. And even as good as Derek Jeter has been over the years, I mean, he's got 2,897 hits now. Closing in on 2,900. You're going to have to make adjustments. Yeah, everybody does. Pitchers, hitters, fielders.
Along with Ken Singleton and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the YES Network. We thank you for joining us on this Labor Day. Hope you had a great weekend. Bottom of the third inning, it's 1-0 O's over the Yankees. And the 2-2 to Jeter. Missed inside. Count 4.
Battle of #1 draft picks. Of course, Mattis is certainly more recent than Derek Jeter, but makes organizations proud when their #1 picks get to the big leagues and produce.
2-2. Hit sharply to short is Torres. And that'll do it. So 9 in a row for Brian Mattis. As we go to the 4th inning, Orioles lead the Yankees 1-0 here on YES. We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning. Alex Rodriguez has had 12 consecutive 100 RBI seasons. That's the most active. Albert Pujols next.
And A-Rod, of course, knocking on the door. 13.
1-0 the O's over the Yankees. And here's Luke Scott. Fouled away.
Talk about Baltimore having a winning August for the first time in 13 years. Luke Scott was a big part of that. He had 9 home runs and 20 runs batted in the month of August. He's got a career high 26 homers this year.
Count 0-2. A double, a single, and a double play scored the run for the Orioles in the third inning. That one is driven to right field. Swisher makes the play. This Sunday, the man behind the mic is back for another season of Football Sunday with Mike Francesa. Turn to Yes every Sunday morning for a preview of the week's Jets and Giants matchups, plus interviews, analysis, and debates with the callers. It all starts this Sunday morning at 9, right here on Yes. That's a Rivas jersey. Darrelle Revis is back. He signed this morning. 4-year deal. And the Jets are a little bit more complete today.
He's going to get about a week's worth of practice.
I guess so. Yeah. They open up a week from today.
I wonder if everybody else practices, but he gets 2 a day that he missed.
They don't do the Brett Favre. I don't think they're going to do it to him. The 1-0. 1-1.
We mentioned AJ's pitched very well against Baltimore this year. 2-1 against them. His first 2 starts, he didn't give up an earned run in 15 and a third innings against Baltimore and struck out 12. It was April 29th and May the 4th. 1 in Baltimore and 1 here at Yankee Stadium. And then he lost to the Orioles on June 10th in Baltimore. And he gave up only 4 runs in that game. There's only 4 he's given up to him all year, 4 earned runs.
Well, the Yankees' top 3 certainly do well against the Orioles. Look at Andy Pettitte, 27-6. Sabathia 13-1. AJ 11-3.
Yeah, there's a saying in baseball, when you do so well against a team like Andy has done against Baltimore, that you can just throw your glove out on the mound and you're going to win. 27-6.
Some good news about Andy Pettitte. Rehab start on Wednesday. Double-A Trenton.
I think he'll be facing the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. I wonder if Andy's going to get a scouting report on their ball club.
And when Trenton faces the Fisher Cats, you can throw the records out the window. Here's the 3-2. And a walk to Wieters. So Wieters has walked twice. Here's Ty Wigginton.
Now, first time up, Andy kept everything away from Wigginton. I should say AJ. Andy. AJ kept everything away from him. See, I got Andy pitching already.
He's just waiting on the scouting reports about the Fisher cat.
Yes, you know, like everybody else, I've missed him too.
Foul back. I got to ask you, what is a Fisher cat?
I think it's
a special kind of cat.
I think it's something that's it's something that just it's something that is in New Hampshire. Some sort of animal that walks around the swamps or whatever.
Oh.
That's what I think it is.
All right.
You know, we can look that up.
The 0-1. 0-2.
It might be something that's just made up.
Could be.
Yeah. But they are a farm team of the Blue Jays. I've seen a picture of it. I've seen a picture of it. It's nothing you would want to run into in a dark alley.
We're told it's something like a weasel.
That's
the
what
0-2.
I mean. Well, I've known a lot of weasels.
So have I. Some in this booth. Present company excluded.
Well, that's what I thought. I knew it wasn't personal. Hey, we've been together 9 years now.
That's right. The 1-2. 2-2.
Just trying to get that breaking ball a little bit closer to the zone. I mean, what happens with the right-handed hitters, hopefully they think it's a fastball and they go for it. Left-hand hitters, same thing. They go over the top of it. But he's not getting it close enough to the zone where they can even think about swinging at it.
Chop toward third. Alex Rodriguez goes to second one. On to first. Hits a double play around the horn. 5-4-3 as A.J. Burnett works out of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors. And because of this DP, nobody left on base. Turned quickly by Cano. We go to the bottom of the fourth. O's 1-0 over the Yanks. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Partner play, the GE Capital partner play. This inning-ending double play started by Alex Rodriguez. Watch the turn in the middle by Robinson Cano, directly overhand to first base to Teixeira. And there is your GE partner play, inning-ending double play.
Well, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and during this inning, we're going to check the trivia question as well. Swisher, Teixeira, and A-Rod against Brian Mattis, who's retired 9 Yankees in a row. Count 1-0. Swisher struck out looking in the first inning with Jeter on second base and nobody out. Yankees did not get that run in. Swisher, a .356 hitter with 7 homers and 28 ribbies in 31 career games against the Orioles.
He really likes to hit at Camden Yards, but I can't think of many hitters who don't like it there.
Yankees have beaten the Orioles 10 out of 12 so far this year. They have these 3 games and then 3 more in Baltimore at the end of the next road trip. Grounded to third, Josh Bell. 1 away. It's time now for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. The question: who are the only 2 players in Major League Baseball history to have 13 straight 100 RBI seasons?
Got to be in the Hall of Fame.
And the answer is Lou Gehrig and Jimmy Fox. I would say so. Here's Mark Teixeira. And there's a strike. There's the Iron Horse. A man, a gentleman, a great ball player. High pop-up. Right side. Wigginton and Markakis. Markakis makes the call on the catch for the second out of the inning. Well, Lou Gehrig set a record that should stand for all time, but Cal Ripken Jr. had other ideas. 2,131. This is the anniversary of the day that the record was broken. And what a day that was, what a night that was at Camden Yards. He took a tour around the bases. Then President Bill Clinton was there.
Hit a home run in the game.
It was against the Angels.
Yeah.
And then that streak was actually broken against the New York Yankees, where he sat out voluntarily. Always remember that day, Kenny, where the Yankees stood on the top step of the dugout and gave him an ovation. No one could believe it, but he sat there, and then he sat in the bullpen for part of the game. 1-0 to Alex. Cal Ripken is one of Alex's idols, and everyone remembers that All-Star game where Alex was the shortstop, Ripken was the third baseman, and Alex made him switch over to short for that one final game. And how did Alex know that by moving to third, that was his future position right there? The 2-1. Driven deep to left center field. Going back PA. Still back. Looking up. See ya! A long home run for Alex Rodriguez. His 22nd of the year. His 99th RBI. It's a 1-1 game.
Well, there's a lot made when A-Rod was out of the lineup. Did the Yankees continue to win and play very well? I think they were 21-3 with him out of the lineup. But this is what he brings to the lineup. One swing capability. Either put you ahead or tie a ball game. And right now the game is tied. 22nd home run of the season.
Cano swings and misses, going for back-to-back home runs.
This is just short of the bleachers.
Off the H&R Block side.
And the crowd is buzzing. Cano has worn out the Orioles this year. You see A-Rod celebrating his home run. 23 for 48 against Baltimore with 3 home runs.
Now, a source of pride for Alex is always his 30 and 100. I think he has a chance. He needs 8 more home runs.
You know what? What did he get the 30 and 100 last year? One inning.
The 1-1. There's a strike.
Yeah, there's Tyler, 22. I'm sure he's had 8 and 9 home run months before. Cano against Baltimore. He's shorted him 1 homer. He's got 4 homers against Baltimore.
Served into left center field, but PA is there, and that'll do it. But the Yankees tied the score. Alex Rodriguez's first home run off the DL, and it is a beauty. Off the back wall of the Oriole bullpen. A shock, an H.R. block shot. 1-1. Go inside the mind of the manager with WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper looks ahead to this weekend series with his potential playoff opponent, the Texas Rangers. That's today after the postgame, and catch an all-new episode Sunday at 7 only on Yes. And there's a strike to Corey Patterson. So the home run by Alex knots things at 1. Patterson is Torres and Bell, bottom of the order, against A.J. Burnett. There's a strike. Well, the Orioles set a record this year that no one ever thought that they would set. Not a record that they wanted to set by any stretch of the imagination. That one is driven out into left center. Gardner is there. He'll make the play. They are short of their 13th straight losing season. And that breaks the franchise record of 12 set by the St. Louis Browns, the forerunners to the Orioles, from 1930 to 1941. And this all started, and the Orioles were, the Yankees' big opponents. They were more of a rival in 1996 and 97 than the Red Sox were. But the bottom dropped out, and it's been all downhill for the Orioles, and that's what Buck Showalter's working against right now. There's a base hit down the right field line. And it kicks off the wall. Asturias is going to go for 2. Nick Swisher will get the ball in. So it's a 1-out double.
Now, Buck becoming the manager as we watch his Asturias hit has kind of put a buzz back in the Baltimore baseball scene, as this ball's about a foot fair down the line, as Asturias has a 2-base hit. But this time of year, Michael, in Baltimore, they're thinking about the beginning of the football season. Of course, the Jets and the Ravens square off a week from tonight.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
At the new Meadowlands Stadium.
Yeah, I opened the paper yesterday morning and I couldn't find anything about the Orioles on the front page.
There's Josh Bell.
Of the sports section, that is.
More buzz for the Ravens today as they acquired T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Orioles 1 for 5 today with runners in scoring position. Bell doubled in the third inning.
Josh Bell, the Orioles acquired him in a trade for George Sherrill. Remember, Sherrill was their closer. They traded him to the Dodgers, and they got Bell. Over the past winter, they signed Miguel Tejada to play third base. They have since traded Tejada for the San Diego Padres, and they installed Bell at third base to see what this young man could do. Switch hitter, he's got some power. His first 2 major league home runs in the same game, and he got them off the same pitcher in a brand name. First 2 homers off Cliff Lee.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Cliff Lee has strangely labored of late in Texas. He's supposed to start tomorrow. They're skipping over him. He has a sore lower back. Joe Girardi pointed out something to me on the Joe Girardi show, which you'll see after the postgame today. He said, I looked at the numbers, and he has, I think, the second highest innings in the American League. And remember, he missed the first month of the season. So he goes deep into games. He takes the ball. 3-1, fouled away.
Of course, he's coming off a year where he pitched, well, as long as you can pitch. He was in the World Series. He had a couple of starts against the Yankees and won them both. The only 2 games the Phillies won. And I think that's one of the more amazing things about the Yankees over the years, Michael, when they've been in the postseason 13 of the last 14 years. I mean, the pitchers have pitched into the postseason year after year after year. And pitchers like Mariano still come back for more. Andy Pettit.
3-2.
I think it's CC Sabathia over the years with the Brewers into the playoffs and the Indians, and last year what he did with the Yankees. You know, you can see why Dave Island cut back their work in the offseason and even started them a little later in spring training.
I don't know if most of them would know what to do with a 6-month season. Only happened once. The 3-2. Line drive right at Teixeira. No one was covering. Jeter couldn't get there. The ball was hit so hard. And that's the second out.
Here's a line drive at Teixeira, but Jeter knew that his Torres hadn't strayed that far off the bag. There wasn't going to be a play. In fact, his Torres was going to get there well before Jeter did. Well, they're both shortstops, but he threw it to the right guy.
Here's Brian Roberts, 1 for 2, struck out and then singled to left.
Talked about Roberts being back in the lineup with that base hit. He's now hitting 6 straight games. Lower back problems. Had him on the shelf. Tried to play early in the season. Was injured again. Had to go back on the disabled list. I believe there was a popularity contest among the players on the Orioles that Brian Roberts would win. He's been there the longest time now. When Melvin Moore had been the longest tenured Oriole, now I think it's Roberts.
Count 2-0 on Roberts. Felix PA is on deck. 1-1 game, top of the 5th. The 2-0. Line drive, base hit to left field. Charging is Timms. He comes up throwing. Here's the throw. It's cut off by Alex. Fires to second. And they get Roberts trying to stretch. But the run does score. It's an RBI single. And that gives the Orioles a 2-1 lead. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left at the end of 4.5. 2-1-0s.
Left field, this Torres off the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Throw by Marcus Thames, that's important. Able to be cut off by A-Rod. Throw to second to get Roberts trying to advance on the throw to the plate. Well executed by the Yankees, but the Orioles pick up a run.
Pitch to Marcus Thames is a strike.
Here's the end of the play. The ball is awaiting the sliding Ryan Roberts.
Never even got to the bat. The 0-1. 1-1. Tim's grounded sharply to third. That was in the second. And a strike. Fouled away.
Thames has hit in 9 of his last 11 starts with 6 home runs. Before the game, he was standing around the batting cage, and Adam Jones of the Orioles came over to talk to him. And Marcus said, I'm trying to fly under the radar.
Line drive off the glove of Bell, trickles into left field. And that'll be a base hit for Marcus Thames to lead off the 5th.
We hit one hard in Bell's direction in the second inning. Bell made the play. This time, this one almost dragged him into left field. And Bell's a big man. Off the glove. It's not in there. It's not in there. He stares at the glove, but the ball's in left field. It's not the glove's fault. Michael, as you say, it wasn't a glove story on that one.
Nope. Nor was it leather and grace. Here's Posada. Tim's on first. And the count 1-0.
Early in the season, Mattis was working more of a crouch position from the stretch. Now he's a little more straight up and down. And one reason why, when he got into crouch from the stretch, he had to come up to throw the ball to home plate or throw the ball to first base. And a lot of the base runners were taking off and stealing on first move. And they've stolen 15 bases against him without being caught in his last 19 starts. Well, now he's a little more straight up and down, so the base runners cannot read him quite as easily.
Foul back to the screen. 2-1.
Here's look. He was a little more crouched at the waist. His knees were bent. And here's his delivery to home plate. He goes straight to the plate this time, but he's a little harder to read than he was earlier in the season. And that was picked up by former Oriole Mike Flanagan, who, when he first came to the league as a left-handed pitcher, they used to steal everything, steal him blind.
If you remember one thing, though, Kenny, I mean, we always talk about the Oriole way. That's how Oriole starters, it started with John Habian. Mike Messina came over here where he's bent at the waist and at the knees. I think that's the way they taught it in the Oriole system.
Yeah, but those guys were right-handers.
Right.
Yeah, so left-handers, the base runner is actually staring right at him.
Right.
And the same thing happened to Mike Flanagan. And Mike was taught by Mike Cuellar over the winter, look in the mirror and work on it. And from that point, Flanagan started picking people off left and right. Then all of a sudden, they stopped running. And he eventually won a Cy Young Award.
It is strange, though. They probably teach that type of set in the system, and now it has to change, I would think. But Messina was so great, but as you said, right-handed.
He had the long, protracted set motion where he
almost like bending over to tie his shoes.
And he said he could actually look at the runner while he was coming back up set again. The set position.
Line drive, foul.
We just had a shot of the pitching coach, Rick Kranitz. We're seeing some of these younger pitchers start to throw the ball a little bit better. And as Buck Showalter mentioned to Kim Jones on the pregame show, maybe he's starting to learn some things here as we get to the latter stages of the season.
Swing and a miss. There's a changeup. You know what's interesting too, Kenny? You're talking about the coaches, and we'll see this changeup and how Posada swings over the top. Coaches are kind of coaching for their jobs as well.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, Buck Showalter over the years, he's had a lot of different people coach for him, and I'm sure a lot of them would like to come back and work under Buck once again. And when Buck joined the Orioles, they kept the coaching staff intact with the exception of Juan Samuel, who had been the interim manager, had been the third base coach. And Juan decided that he didn't want to become a third base coach again. He thought it'd be awkward as the former manager working for Buck. And he's gone down to work with the Orioles organization in the Dominican Republic. Gets stopped by Wieters.
You know, he's probably right. It probably would have been awkward. I mean, you're the head guy. All of a sudden, you're back at third.
But you're right. A lot of these coaches, they are not sure if they're coming back or not.
Count 2-0 to Cervelli.
Mentioned that Manis has lost 3 times to the Yankees this year, but it's not as if the Yankees have tattooed him. He's given up 3 runs in each of the games. He's pitched to a pretty good earned run average against the Yankees.
All quality starts. The definition of a quality start: 6 innings, 3 runs.
But he's lost all 3.
We've always spoken about this. I don't quite get the quality start aspect of a 4.50 ERA.
It's got to be 7 innings.
I think they've now changed that, Kenny. Obviously, now that's called a high quality start. 7 innings, 3 runs. It's a high quality hat there.
What's the best? An ultra ball?
Called the shutout. Complete game shutout. Count 3-2. Gardner is on deck. Struck out against Mattis today. Cervelli is really battling, fouled off that change.
Off the end of the bat. Coming right at you. You see that in 3D? Watch it, Dave. That's our cameraman, Dave Chesney, down there by the Yankees. You all right, Dave? Okay,
Dave's reflexes are really slowing, too, so I worry about him. 3-2 from Mattis. And the pitch inside, so Cervelli wins that battle. And it's his first walk served up by Mattis. So first and second, that's going to bring up Gardner. Orioles are leading 2-1. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning here at the stadium. And a strike. Count 0-1. Look, he's going to put his friend sleeping on YouTube. You just know it. Oh, how could you sleep? It's a good game. It's a beautiful day.
Hey, you don't know where he was last night.
And he should be here. The 0-1. 1-1. Now he's away. Nope, back. First and second, one out. The 1-1. 1-2.
You look at the way the outfield is situated against Gardner. Of course, a lot of teams play him around the left field. You can see PA very shallow. There's always a danger of a ball finding a gap, a line drive. The Yankees looking for their first hit with runners in scoring position today.
They're 0 for 3. Jeter's on deck. Swift toward third. Going to be a tough play with Gardner going. And a nice backhanded scoop by Wigington as the runners move up. Bell made the play in a hurry, hurried the throw. Threw it in the dirt, but Wigington saved it.
Had to hurry, and he knew it, but a nice play by Wigington on the other end. Here comes Gardner. Thinking about the possibility of an infield hit. But he got a step late. Makes everything close.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek is 1 for 2 today. He doubled to right center. That was in the first inning. His 4th hit of this homestand. Then he grounded out to short, so he is 4 for 26 on the stand. Yankees have an opportunity to take the lead here with a hit. And a strike right on the inside corner by Mattis. That one's fouled off. He tried to check his swing.
And Mattis keeping the first 2 pitches in on the hands of Jeter. Maybe not so sure this would have been a strike. Might have been inside, but still hits the barrel of the bat.
You've got Timms at third, and Cervelli is on second. 2 men out. Bottom of the fifth, it's 2-1 O's. And the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No. Said Wally Bell at first.
Good breaking ball. Trying to get Jeter to commit. Thinking inside once again. Have it break down out of the zone.
Yankees looking for their first hit with runners in scoring position. The O's 2 for 7. And the 1-2. 2-2.
Been consistent with the speed of his fastball with upper 80s. I don't think many have touched 90 today.
I've seen 88, 89. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Grounded foul. '83 pitches for Mattis. Oriole bullpen, they carry 7 pitchers, 5 righties and 2 lefties. And I'm sure the bullpen will come into play. They don't want to push this young man that high into a pitch count of 120.
Especially as you're getting down to the latter stages of the season.
The 2-2. Fought off and fouled off.
You know, they've tried to keep the ball in, and I think they're contemplating, should we go away? You got a changeup that he's used successfully to several of the Yankee hitters. Then in a way, you're going against your own game plan of trying to power the ball inside on Jeter. And just because he's fouled somebody off, you want to just change the look on one pitch, but you want to be sure you can execute it. Let's see where they go here.
The 2-2.
And it was a changeup. I only had one problem with the way that pitch was executed. I thought Weeder set up a little too early. And the reason why I say that, because you have a catcher at second base, Cervelli, who can see that sort of thing. Everything else had been inside. But when you set up somewhere else and too early, it gives you an indication of what the pitch is going to be. It's going to be a changeup.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. The 2-2. Grabbed there by Bell. And another one in the dirt, and another beautiful backhanded scoop by Wigginton to really save the Orioles bacon in that inning. For the Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Jeter's trying to beat it out, but it wasn't to be as we go to the 6th.
Yes is brought to you in part by Subway Restaurants. Build your better breakfast and grab lunch too. By Heineken Light, see the light. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Felix PA is going to lead it off for the Baltimore Orioles here in the top of the 6th inning. They lead A.J. Burnett and the Yankees by a score of 2-1.
It'll be Felix PA, Nick Markakis, and Luke Scott here in the 6th inning. 2-4-0, leading 1-3-0. That was a nice play by the third baseman Josh Bell to take a hit away from Jeter, which would have meant 2 runs for the Yankees. Hot shot up the middle, a base hit for Felix PA.
You've seen it when Andy Pettit's been on the mound in the past. When a left-hander's on the mound, third baseman can be busy. A lot of pulled ground balls in that direction, and Josh Bell had several hit his direction that inning. You mentioned Cal Ripken at third for the Orioles. Over the years, the Orioles had some pretty good third basemen. You go to Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson, maybe not a better fielding third baseman ever. 16 Gold Gloves.
Markakis fouls it away. PA, of course, is a threat to go.
One of the scouting reports on Burnett is the fact that he does not hold runners particularly well, and we've seen just about every team when they get somebody on with some decent speed, they're thinking about second base. Pressure is on.
Count 1-1. There's a strike back to a breaking ball.
Fans in Baltimore, they think Markakis' numbers are down as far as home runs and runs batted in are concerned. Just 9 homers and 50 runs batted in. There's a guy who's driven in over 100 runs on a couple of occasions. But he does have 41 doubles. 41 two-base hits. And that gives him 4 straight years of 40 doubles or more.
Count still 1-2. Candy, this is it. This is kind of the official end of summer, Labor Day.
Yeah.
Weather's been a little cooler. Feels like fall.
Starting to close down the swimming pools. School begins. I know there's a lot of kids out there don't want to hear that.
I hope you didn't surprise them with it.
I'm sure they got all their school supplies. The pencils are all sharpened. End of summer parties.
1-2. Well, it always seems to go fast, and that's certainly the case. And you know, when you keep your calendar on a baseball calendar, you just mark the games off, and summer flies by. And it's one of the beauties of the sport, and also one of the drawbacks. It seems like you're marking away days of your life, but here we are heading toward fall.
Gee, how melancholy can you be?
That's deep.
Yeah, that's
the 2-2.
Oh my goodness. Don't worry, folks. The season will begin again next year.
That'll snap everybody out of their happiness. Let's see if they send PA on the 3-2. He goes. Foul back.
It's another thing that you've seen from Baltimore. They've been more aggressive on the bases. With Buck Showalter managing, trying to stay out of double plays. Of course, with PA, he's got good speed, so you're going to send him. But even some of the other runners who do not have the good speed, they put the runners in motion.
Time. Runner goes. 3-2 and a walk. So AJ's got himself some problems here in the 6th inning. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Well, time for another look at today's Toyota Text Poll. Once again, the question, will the Orioles reach the postseason while Buck Showalter is manager? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. Yes, 57% to 43%.
And that's because of his track record in the past of turning teams around and making them contenders.
You know what's amazing, as Dave Island goes out and talks, he used to always joke about this. He left the Yankees after 95. They won the World Series. He left the Diamondbacks after 2000. They won the World Series. Left the Rangers in pretty good shape, and now it looks like they're going to make the playoffs. But after the Diamondback job, he joked that, you know, after he left ESPN for the first time, they won an Emmy for Baseball Tonight. So it seems like he built something up right to the precipice, and then the payoff is later on. But he's great at turning things around. I mean, the Yankees that he took over, they had not done well. And he took over an organization, he and Gene Michael, and they slowly built it up to the one that won off on 4 championships in 5 years. And the Diamondbacks, I mean, they won 100 games in the 2nd year of an expansion team.
And he's the one who actually started. Remember him scouting around Major League Baseball before the Diamondbacks even became a ball club?
He got paid for 2 years with no team.
We travel around the Major League scouting players.
So A.J. Burnett has got himself in a jam. He's got to get out of it. Here's Luke Scott, first and second, nobody out. Pitch upstairs, and the Yankees get their bullpen busy as David Robertson begins to throw.
Luke Scott has been one of the hottest hitters on the Orioles. I mentioned it earlier, but one thing, he's got all these home runs. 26 homers, only 64 runs batted in. He's only hitting 191 with runners in scoring position.
There's a strike and count 1-1.
A backdoor breaking ball. Backdoor means it's going to come over the outside corner and drop in. So like the backdoor.
The 1-1. 1-2.
Another backdoor breaking ball. 2 in a row to Luke Scott. It's been the favorite entrance to the strike zone in these last couple of pitches.
Missed outside.
Get to certain parts of a tight ball game, and there are little keys to situations. And you got the cleanup hitter up for the Baltimore Orioles with 2 men on and nobody out. They're trying to build an inning, and AJ is trying to stall it.
2-2. Gets past Cervelli, both runners will move up. So they tried to muscle that fastball and muscled it past Cervelli, so now he's really got a jam.
Yeah, that didn't help at all. That is his 14th wild pitch of the year. And that leads the Yankees in that category by far. Nobody else is in double figures. His setup was inside, but you can see Cervelli had to go even further to try and make the stop. He couldn't do it.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for A.J. Burnett as he strikes out Luke Scott for the first out. Let's take a look at how they did it. Pitch by pitch, brought to you by Suzuki Kazashi.
Let's take a look at the sequence. Fastball misses up and away. There's that breaking ball on the outside corner. Drops it in there again, 2 in a row. Another one, tried it, missed, 2-2. There's the wild pitch. Full count now. And a backdoor breaking ball that wasn't even a strike. Luke Scott recognized it's going to be that back door. This time it was the basement level, and he chased it.
There's a strike. The 0-1. 1-1.
Yes, sir.
Wieters has walked twice. The young catcher the Orioles are hoping to build around. One of their building pieces, he, Markakis, Adam Jones.
There's the opportunity here to pitch around him and go for the double play. Wigginton's already hit into 1 his last time up, and Wigginton's also the Orioles All-Star representative.
Served into left field, coming on Timms. He makes the catch, sagging his PA, and the throw is way up the line. It's a sac fly for Wieters, and the Orioles lead at 3-1. They appeal at third, but the home plate umpire Laz Diaz said no. He did not leave too early.
So give Wieters his 49th run batted in of the year. Here's that backdoor breaking ball, line to left field, and consumed with making the catch. It's kind of hard for Timms to kind of set up and get his momentum going on the throw. So he caught the ball, which you got to do first, then had to reset to make the throw. Made it easier for PA to score from third base.
Wieters picks up his 49th run batted in. And that brings up Wigginton. The pitch. A strike. Good fastball for a strike, count 0-2. 20 pitches this inning for A.J. Burnett. PA started with a single, then Markakis walked, then they moved up on a wild pitch. Luke Scott struck out, Matt Wieters with a sac fly to left. Runner at second with 2 outs. And the pitch.
A lot of people thought that Wigginton would not make it through the whole season with Baltimore. He was certainly admired for the season that he's had, and a lot of other teams were thinking about him around the trade deadline, but the Orioles decided to hold on to him.
Swing and a miss. Wigginton down on strikes. Cervelli gets an angle and puts it away for the final out of the 6th. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. The end of 5 1/2. 3-1 Orioles. 10 postseason by reserving your 2011 season tickets. Come to the Gate 4 suite entrance at Yankee Stadium between 7:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, September 7th, for an exciting preview event, and select your 2011 season tickets in person. For more information, call 212-YANKEES or visit Yankees.com. Yankees down 3-1. Nick Swisher leads off against Brian Madison. The first pitch is high.
Yankees have actually gotten better swings against Mattis the last couple of innings, and they only have one run to show for it. It's a home run by Alex Rodriguez. A lot better swings than they had in the first 3 innings.
Count 3-0. Where are they located? Oh, they've got high hopes. Since he's batting right-handed, too, that works against him.
Yeah, high apple pie in the sky. That's right.
And pitch outside, so Swisher works a walk.
Yeah, second straight inning with a walk by Mattis, and certainly Orioles well aware he might be getting a little tired here. Pitch count up to 92.
Now for the Yankees, first baseman, number 25, Mark Teixeira. Number 25.
Starts ago, Mattis went 117 pitches against the Chicago White Sox in Chicago and got the win.
Line drive, a base hit off the bat of Teixeira. PA gets the ball in quickly, and the Yankees have a rally. First and second, and nobody out.
Well, Alex Rodriguez's last time up went very deep. Which one was it? Was it? Oh, we're going to tell you. The first inning, he didn't hit a home run. It was a fly ball in left field. Pitches in on him. Almost the same pitch in the fourth, and he was ready. On your right, that was the home run. In the first, he was kind of upset. He just missed it. And here's the Coors Light cold hard blast. This is in the fourth inning. And that actually hit off the H&R block sign beyond the Oriole bullpen in left field. That was, what do you like to call that, a block shot?
Block shot.
The Nets would have been proud of that block shot.
Matt Albers is up in the bullpen. So here is Alex. And that one gets away from leaders, allowing both runners to move up. Now Kenny lets manage. If you bunt Showalter, do you walk A-Rod? Set up the double play with Cano.
Well, you already got the tying runs in scoring position. You're going to put the winning run on base, or the potential winning run? Here's a very wild pitch, and maybe yet another indication that Mattis is tiring. You can see the runner's going to move up easily on this. Not even a play. Swisher moves the third to share the second.
They're going to pitch to him.
They're going to pitch carefully. Let's put it that way.
Infield is back, so they'll give up the run on the ground ball. High fly ball to right field. That's going to score a run. Markakis makes the catch. Tagging is Swisher. He'll score. Teixeira moves to third. It's A-Rod's 100th run batted in. And the Yankees now trail 3-2.
So what is that now?
14 different seasons with 100 RBIs.
And 13
in a row. I think he's the only one ever to do 14.
Wow. So a productive out. Not only does he get one run in, he moves Teixeira over the third with one out.
You know, when he got hurt, Kenny, he was red hot. And in the last 51 games, including this one that he's played, he's had 56 runs batted in. So that's why he can miss close to a month and still be at 100 RBIs. Infield's in now, and that one's popped up. Backing up is Torres. Coming in is PA, and the ball drops. Teixeira scores, and the Yankees have tied the game at 3. A bloop single and an RBI for Cano.
Wow. Teixeira scores. And to me, this is the left fielder's ball all the way.
Especially with the infield in.
Exactly, because the infield's in. As Torres going back. It's the left fielder's ball. PA should have called this a long time ago. He's coming in to play is much easier for him, as his Torres can't make the play. And I don't know if there what kind of communication there was, but if there was any, it was not much, as the tying run is scored.
Here's Marcus Timms. Pitches high.
And when that ball went up, you thought, well, certainly that's not deep enough to score a run. But the ball was not caught. And Cano gets himself a base hit, yet another RBI against Baltimore.
Grounded to third, backhanded by Bell. The long throw in the dirt, and another scoop by Wigginton, who's having a great game at first as Cano moves to second. Wigginton single-handedly, Kenny, has saved Bell 3 errors.
3 errors on low throws across the diamond. This time, he's going to have to hustle. He's making throws like it's artificial surface.
Yep.
Here's the dive on the back end. Bell's been busy. And they have not been easy plays today. But you're right. He's going to have to work on the throwing, because eventually one of these is going to get away.
That almost handcuffed Wigginton.
Yeah. Nice play by the first baseman. It's 3 times Marcus Timms has hit the ball in Bell's direction.
So now the go-ahead run is at second base. Posada wraps one foul.
Like I said, the Yankees are getting better swings against Mattis. It started last inning, even more so than the previous inning when A-Rod hit a homer.
So A.J. Burnett now has a second chance at a win. There's a breaking ball.
That was a good one.
To the count 0-2.
Lead-off walk by Mattis opened the door.
It always seems to.
The Yankees are more than willing to step in and pick up at least a couple of runs in this inning.
Pitch is high. And the 2-2. Just got a piece to stay alive. Another change.
It's a change-up, good breaking ball, fastball just enough. He's not a blazer.
2-2.
One thing I noticed watching Buck Showalter with this team, he's quite often he will consult with the coaches during the course of the game. Remember, he's learning this team. Before he took over, he watched a few games. Juan Samuel was managing the team. Buck had very little knowledge, or at least firsthand knowledge, of the Orioles and their organization.
Grounded up the middle. Nice hop there for Torres, and he gets Posada for the final out of the inning. The Yankees try to score 2 runs on 2 hits. Big play, this blooper that dropped in. And Teixeira scores. That's the tying run. 3-3 as we go to the 7th.
Game 2 of this 3-game series. Complete coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today. Presented by Audi in the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Michael and I bring you the call. Orioles Yankees tomorrow at 6. Only on Yes. On our Verizon Wireless scoreboard. It is the Yankees 3 and the Orioles 3. When you look out at the Yankee bullpen, Jabba Chamberlain is warming up for the Yankees. A.J. Burnett is still in there as we head to the top of the 7th inning. The Yankees have made a couple of defensive changes in the outfield.
Got Granderson in center, and Gardner will move over to left. So Timms is out of the game. And A.J. Burnett still in there to face the bottom of the order. And Patterson lines one into left field in front of Gardner for base hit.
Corey Patterson leads the Orioles in stolen bases. He's got 20. He's only been caught 3 times. He's talking to first base coach John T-Bone Shelby. There's John Shelby, big Reggie Jackson fan. I think I told the story a few years back, although Bone was out there today talking to Reggie behind the batting cage.
As Torres shows bunt, takes outside.
When T-Bone joined us, he was called up from the minor leagues. We were playing here at the old Yankee Stadium across the street. He's a big Reggie fan. So during practice, batting practice, you watch Reggie hit ball after balls into the seats. Oh my goodness, Reggie! You couldn't believe it was Reggie. You love Reggie. Well, during the game, Reggie hit one off Dennis Martinez into the bleachers at the end, and Bone got up off the end of the bench, started. Whoa! Did you see?
That one is bunted right back to Burnett. So the sacrifice successful, and you score 1-4.
And Earl Weaver looked down at the end of the bench. Who is this yelling and rooting for Reggie Jackson on the other team? And T-Bone sat down, kind of cowered in the corner.
Oh,
Reggie was his favorite all-time player. He saw Reggie at home.
If he'd come up a couple years earlier, he would have been his teammate with the Orioles.
Yeah, that's correct. But instead, Bone was stuck behind guys like me.
Orioles 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Here's Josh Bell with the go-ahead run at second. You know, you mentioned this to me. We were talking off the air, Kenny. Yesterday, the O's had a lead against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And then they lost the lead. Now, previously, that would have folded 10. That's it. It's over. But they came back to win. Well, the Orioles just had a 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
It went away with 2 runs. The Yankees scored at the bottom of the 6th. And it doesn't look like they're folding their tent. They're trying to fight back in and take the lead again. The 0-1.
Well, Septembers have not been Septembers to remember for the Orioles over the last few seasons. A couple of years ago, I think they were 4-32 to close out the year. That is hard to do when you think about it. You know, usually other teams make errors and they give you a game. They couldn't even pick the ones the other team wanted to give them. So it's see how hard they played this month on the Buck Showalter.
High fly ball left field. Gardner makes the play. 2 away. You know, on the pregame show today, Buck Showalter said something very interesting to Kimberly Jones. He said that he wants a team to clinch against his team so he could have the young players see what it's like to clinch.
You know what? I know exactly what it means because it happened to me. I think it was in my first or second year in the major leagues. The Pittsburgh Pirates clinched against the Mets. I was playing for the Mets at the time in Pittsburgh at Three Rivers. And I just looked at them and I said, I hope I get a chance to do that one day. It took me a little while to do it, but got it done twice. I mean, you get the culmination of goes all the way back to spring training, how hard you work.
Roberts rips one foul.
And all the work you put in, all the practice, and it culminates, and you know you're going to the playoffs. And it was a learning experience for me. Plus, the Pirates are pretty good in those days.
Yep.
In those days.
Not these days.
No.
Boone Logan and Jabba Chamberlain up in the bullpen. The 0-1.
I also remember Willie Stargell hit one in the upper deck at Three Rivers, and I'm thinking, I'm never going to hit a ball that far.
But you didn't jump up like T-Bone.
No, I did not. In fact, I hurt my neck. I was looking at it. Man, did he crush that ball.
Top of the 7th. It's a 3-3 game. Yankees and the O's. Count 2-1.
Good stop by Cervelli. You are always challenged when A.J. Burnett is on the mound and that down and in breaking ball to the left-handed hitters. Now, Roberts got a big hit his last time up in the 5th, drove in a run.
.62 strikes, 41 balls. 2-1. Line drive, a base hit to right field. Here comes Patterson. They wave him home. Here's the throw from Swisher. Here's the play. He's in there. Now Roberts gets hung up. He's in a rundown. And Jeter tags him out for the final out. But the Orioles score the go-ahead run on the single by Brian Roberts. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and because of this, nobody left on base. Swisher came up throwing. fired home, but it wasn't in time. Patterson has too much speed, and then they got Roberts hung up, and in a rundown, and Jeter finally tagged him out. So the Yankees trail 4-3 here in the middle of the 7th. Time for the 7th inning stretch, and we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees.
Number 17, Lance Berkman.
Matt Albers will take over on the mound for the Orioles, and that's the way it breaks down. Alex Rodriguez 1 for 2, a solo home run. He has 2 ribbies, now 100 for the season, his 14th season with 100. Burnett 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Mattis 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks. And Mattis could get the win if the bullpen could hold on. Lance Berkman will pinch hit for Francisco Cervelli against Matt Albers. Foul bat.
Last 18 appearances for Albers. He's worked to a 2.55 ERA. You can see his season numbers there. He's up there in innings, 63 in the 3rd innings out of the bullpen.
And the count 0-2 on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. 4-7-0 for the O's and 3-5-0 for the Yankees. And the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Bergman has swung the bat a lot better since coming out the DL. Even had some good swings from the right side. Yankees carry 3 catchers now because of the roster expansion, so they can pinch hit for Cervelli. Cervelli was 0 for 1 with a walk in the number 8 hole on the lineup.
You know, one thing about the Orioles, we talked about how long Brian Roberts had been out. This is just his 42nd game of the season, I believe. This is what they've missed at the top of the order. I mean, this guy has two out hits today to drive in the go-ahead runs. He eventually was thrown out at second both times, but he's tough in the clutch.
So Bergman with a pinch hit walk to start off the 7th inning. And Greg Golson is going to pinch run for Bergman. Yankees also called up another extra outfielder today, Colin Curtis, who was up earlier with the Yanks.
See how Joe Girardi wants to play this here. Bergman with the leadoff walk. Leadoff walk last inning turned into a run for the Yankees. Gardner, of course, a good bunter, good speed. Golson, great speed at first. Both of them great speed. Let's put it that way. So it doesn't. If there's a bunt, it doesn't have to be the greatest bunt that would get Golson in the scoring position.
Bunted and bunted back to the screen.
It's going to have to be better than that, though.
That's the last part of his game to develop where he needs it to be. He's still not a proficient bunter. And when he becomes one with his speed, he's going to be a 300 hitter all the time.
Remember when we were in Chicago just recently, and Juan Pierre, 2 afternoons in a row, came out early for 10 or 15 minutes and bunted and bunted and bunted, and he's the active player with the most bunt hits.
And another bunt and another foul ball.
And he had a bunt base hit in the series against the Yankees.
And it usually works out toward the end of the year, and you'll see kind of jabs at this, which is not what you want to do.
No, you want to actually catch the ball. You don't want to push the bat at the ball. You're trying to deaden the ball off the end of the bat. The setup was good. Just you're supposed to, it's almost like you're trying to catch the ball.
Shadow starting to creep in there. The one flag has a shadow right on home plate. Hey, if you figure that each hit might get you 2 points in the batting average, if you have 15 bunt hits, tells you what a difference that is. Strike 3. That was not a good at bat for Brett Gardner as he goes down looking.
Check the movement. This is going to be one of those fastballs, the spillover effect. Starts inside, then drops back over the either inside corner or the middle for a call strike.
So here's Derek Jeter. He had a double in the first inning, then grounded to short and grounded to third. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times.
And with the failed bunt attempt, Golson becomes even more of a threat to steal here.
Goes. Pitches inside. Throw to second. They got him. What a throw by Wieters. So it's caught stealing 2-4.
Matt Wieters, sometimes the taller catchers have problems with the throwing because they have to come up a lot higher and throw. He's 6'5". The jump was not the best. And the throw was a good one as Roberts applies the tag. Here's the end of the play. You can see the ball there well ahead of Golson, and he's out number 2.
And one of the things that Showalter and his staff have to evaluate is Wieters. Is he the catcher, or do they have to go in another direction? And the one thing that Buck did when he got there, Wieters was still the recipient of a lot of youngster hazing. He's not a rookie, but they were hazing him like a rookie, a second-year guy. He's all right, this has to stop. This guy's the leader of the staff. Nobody picks on him, and he is the guy who tells you what to do, period. So he's given him authority, and since that point, Wieters has been a better player.
You mean the pitchers have been getting on his
No,
case?
the whole, like what they do with young players or whatever. And he just stopped it. It's okay enough. Second-year guy. Now this ends. He becomes one of the leaders of this team. That's what the catcher needs to be. 2-1. Squibbed out toward first. Wigginton is there. Steps on the bag, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors because of the caught stealing. Nobody left. Let's take this baby to the 8th. 4-3 Orioles. Of the New York Yankees.
And fans, this week, get ready for two big center stage premieres on Yes. First, tomorrow at 11, U.S. Open and Wimbledon tennis champ John McEnroe sits down to talk about his memorable career. And Wednesday, controversial Cowboys Hall of Famer Michael Irvin joins the Candid Conversations. It's GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael K. Only on Yes. Sounds like you've been busy lately, Mike.
Oh, yeah. With McEnroe, and those are two good shows. People should definitely tune in. This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T, Rethink Possible. And Boone Logan comes in for A.J. Burnett. And those are the numbers on Boone Logan, who has obviously assumed the left-handed specialist role out of the Yankee bullpen with the injury to Damaso Marte. And talking to Joe Girardi the other day, he's not sure that Damaso Marte is coming back. Chad Moeller behind the plate takes over for Cervelli, who got pinch hit for it. Felix P.A. fouls it back.
This is the inning. Bring Logan in. 3 straight left-handed hitters scheduled. P.A., Markakis, and Scott. Chad Moeller had a nice talk with Chad before the game in the Yankee clubhouse. He's happy to be back in the big leagues. Of course, the expanded rosters here in September. Experienced. In fact, he's caught for both of these teams.
The 0-1. There's a strike.
Good breaking ball.
Line down the right field line and foul. Kind of hooked that one-handed down there.
Before the game, the Orioles were out stretching, and I was talking to Mike Harkey, Yankee bullpen coach, and Harkey was singing the praises of Felix P.A., who actually started out in the Cubs organization. Harkey was a coach in the organization for a while, and he said that he wanted as the ball is swung on and missed. and to throw the first to complete the put out. K 2-3 for the put out, and he was singing the praises of PA and his ability to run, throw, field, and eventually hit. He's starting to live up to that promise that the Cubs thought he had a long time ago, and they made him the center fielder one year, and it didn't work out. Had to send him back to the minors, but Andy McPhail got him in a trade, and PA is starting to cut it as a major leaguer.
Tell you what, Kenny, this guy was considered a can't miss with the Cubs.
Yes.
That's how big a deal he was, but he missed. So maybe he will hit here. Here is Nick Markakis. Markakis 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a strike. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning, Swisher, Teixeira, and Rodriguez. Jim Johnson in the Orioles bullpen. Foul ball. And the pitch. Just missed. Logan, part of that trade that brought Javier Vasquez to the Yankees from the Braves. And Logan's emerged as a big part of that deal. 1-2. Chop right back to the mound and over the mound. And Alex Rodriguez can just eat the ball as Markakis reaches on an infield single. Well, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at YesNetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Alex Rodriguez, number 2, Corey Patterson, number 3, Brian Roberts, number 4, Brian Mattis. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. So a little chopper, not much that Boone Logan could do about that. Lost his shoe, his right shoe, as he was going to bound off the mound. Flat tire there. Here's Luke Scott. Foul back. The 0-1.
One thing about Logan, Michael, I think you might agree, his control has been much better since coming back. Up and down with the Yankees this year to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, but since he has come back, for some reason he's been locked in more with the strike zone. Usually that has something to do with your delivery, a little more compact. Getting ahead of hitters, left-handed hitters have not bothered him. As I say that, he throws a pitch outside.
4-3 Orioles lead. We're in the top of the 8th inning. First game of a 3-game set as the Yankees and the Orioles end Labor Day weekend with this Labor Day matinee. A lot of games in the afternoon, which is great to see. That's always a Labor Day tradition. Got a game in Detroit, the one in Minnesota, one in Toronto, National League a lot, Washington and the Mets, and Atlanta and Pittsburgh, Houston and Chicago, all of those day games.
Used to be Labor Day double headers.
Yeah, they used to be that.
Used to be.
This is a big one. Tampa Bay and Boston tonight at Fenway. Now, I don't think that Boston has a very good shot right now, Kenny, because they are so many games behind. But this is their last chance. I mean, they've got to do damage against Tampa Bay. Because right now it's Tampa Bay that's in front of them. They worry about the Yankees after that. Very big game. Big series. The 2-1.
It's going to be Jeff Neiman going for the Rays against John Lester. getting the start for the Boston Red Sox tonight.
Here's the wild card standings right now. The Red Sox 7.5 off the pace. The White Sox in the middle. The White Sox just swept the Red Sox to move into second place in the wild card. And you got the Blue Jays and the Tigers on the outside looking in. Two. 3-2.
Gary Allenson went through the sides. Marquez looking across the diamond. I'm not so sure he'll be going. Left on left here. The possibility to strike him out, throw him out, double play. We're going to see how aggressive Buck Showalter is here.
Doesn't move him, and the pitcher's fouled out.
I think you want Wieters to hit this inning. You don't want the strike him out, throw him out. Gary Allenson, many years with the Boston Red Sox. Backup catcher, I believe it. I'm not so sure if he backed up Carlton Fisker. Nah, I think he was after Carlton. After Carlton going over to the White Sox.
He takes it. He checks his swing, and third base ump James Hoy said he did check. So Luke Scott walks, and now first and second, one out. And doesn't look like it's going to be it for Boone Logan, because it's Dave Island coming out to talk with him. They obviously believe that Wieters is weaker from the right side than he is from the left. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Wieters is just a 208 hitter from the right-hand side of the plate.
.255 overall. As we always say, it's better to be weaker from the right side than the left if you're a switch hitter, because there are a lot fewer left-handed pitchers than righties. First and second, Orioles trying to build on a one-run lead. Just missed outside. Count 2-0. Logan's really pitching himself into a jam.
Yeah, today I was talking about his ability to get the ball over the plate. It doesn't seem to be happening today. And right now he's going to have to come in with a big 2-0 pitch to Wieters. We're getting to the point, Michael, in the game where the shadows might start to creep in across the home plate area and create some difficulties for the hitters. It's coming.
The 2-0. Just missed the outside corner. I think Logan's saying, well, why is the strike zone so tight all of a sudden? The last Diaz.
Diaz mentioned a motion with the right arm that it was outside, and outside. What do you want me to do?
The 3-0. Right down the middle, 3-1. Shadows creeping forward. Yankees are certainly used to it. This is their 5th straight day game. High fly ball, right field. Swisher makes the play. Tagging is Markakis. He'll go to third. So there are 2 down and runners on the corners. And that's going to do it for Boone Logan. Joe Girardi will make his way out to the mound. So Logan didn't pitch badly. But he leaves first and third with 2 outs. Robertson against Wigginton when we return. Yankees trying to hold it right here at 4-3. New pitcher is David Robertson. 51 games, 2-4 record, 3.97 ERA, 58 strikeouts in 47 and 2/3 innings, 47 hits. Good numbers.
The good numbers, good fastball in the low 90s, but an excellent breaking ball, and he gets Ty Wigginton here with 2 outs and runners on the corners.
Wigginton, a tough hitter. As Kenny mentioned earlier, the Orioles' lone representative in the All-Star game. Markakis is at third, and Wieters at first. And Jeter wants to talk with Robertson, and then brings out Moeller. Obviously, they want to go through signs. That runner at third is pretty big, so Jeter wants to make sure they're all on the same page. Also, who's going to cover if somebody goes?
If Scott decides to head to second, and usually that we've seen the Yankees do this earlier in the season. You're looking for a speedy runner at third. Markakis has decent speed. In case they send a runner from first, where's the throw going to go? If there's going to be a throw.
Swing and a miss. I had said it was Wieters at first. Obviously, it is Scott. Kenny's right. So Luke Scott at first and Nick Markakis at third.
I didn't even realize you said that.
I did say that. But Wieters just flied out to right.
I'm so locked into the game. Good catch.
Big pitch. Hits us high. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Wigginton is 0 for 3 today. Fly to center. DP and a strikeout. The 1-2. Runner goes, and he will go to second. The ball got away from Moeller just a bit, and Luke Scott took off and took second, so that removes the force. Probably if he scored a wild pitch, he was not running with the pitch. The 2-2. Swing and a tapper in front of the mound. And Moeller almost handcuffed Teixeira, who has a big smile on his face because he made the play. And that'll do it here in the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Got him right on the heel, but he held on. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Here's Moeller, but watch the other end of this play. Handcuffs Mark Teixeira. He holds on. He'll react to the throw. My goodness.
New pitcher for the Orioles is Buck Showalter tries to piece this together. Jim Johnson comes out of the bullpen, and you see his numbers: 22 hits in 12 2/3 innings.
You notice the low totals on the games and the innings pitched. He spent a lot of the season on the disabled list with elbow problems. Very hard sinker.
Pitch to Nick Swisher is low. It'll be Swisher, Teixeira, and A-Rod against Jim Johnson. Johnson pitched against Tampa Bay yesterday, allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs. Also gave up a home run on Sunday. High fly ball, deep center. Patterson drifts back. 1 out. Along with Ken Singleton and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay, and you are watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. We're at the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Orioles lead the Yankees 4-3. We thank you for spending part of your Labor Day with us. Hope you've had a great weekend with your friends and family, and hope you're enjoying this game as well. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th, and here's Teixeira. And a strike.
The Orioles employ the shift on Teixeira in the Second baseman Brian Roberts trying to, where do you want me to go? A little deeper, stay where I am, or what?
Count 0-2. Johnson, the 0-1. Check that 0-2 to count 1-2. Alex waits on deck. The 1-2 in the dirt. The count 2-2. And Johnson deals. That one's grounded right side. Snared there by Wigington. Flips to Johnson. Got him. Good play on both ends for the second out.
Wigington's had himself a good afternoon around the bag at first base. Nice stop with a headlong dive. Here's a guy who can play just about anywhere in the infield. He played a lot of second base this year with the absence of Roberts. Now moves over the first. The headlong dive on Yesmo makes it even more impressive. You see the dirt fly as he hits the infield. Then he made an accurate throw to Johnson for the out.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, a home run and a sac fly. Two ribbies give him 100 on the season. And that makes him the only player in Major League history to have 14 seasons with 100 or more RBIs. And 13 of them in a row. Pitch inside. That's a lot of players, and he's the only one.
Consistency, consistent production.
Count 2-0.
Talking to Kevin Long before the game, the hitting coach, about A-Rod just stepping right back. He didn't have a rehab assignment, and he said, you know, the practice that he did, he looked pretty sharp. And I thought A-Rod actually did swing the bat pretty well in yesterday's game. The bats that I saw.
Picked up 2 hits.
Yeah.
One legitimate RBI single, the other one a slow roller down the third baseline, which tested out the previously injured calf.
Oh. Just a little bit low on the outside.
I don't think they'll mind putting A-Rod on, but they don't want him to tie the game with a swing. It's just that feeling the way they're pitching to him. And they walk him. And that's going to bring up Cano. Cano has had a shaky last couple of games. He is now 4 for his last 23. He had a bloop RBI single in the 6th inning. You see his average is under 320. Alex Rodriguez out of the game. And they send out Eduardo Nunez to pinch run for him. Cano 5 for 9 lifetime against Johnson. I've never liked Kenny pinch running for your best RBI guy in the 8th inning of a game that's tight. I mean, if you tie the game, you've lost Alex Rodriguez's bat.
Yeah, the reason why they're doing it, though,
they score on the extra base.
Yeah, scoring it. They want him busting it. And the possibility is there to have a re-injury.
And that is the part of that
that makes sense.
That makes sense this time. But I don't like when managers do it because they want to tie the game. All right, you've tied the game. You've lost your best player.
Well, they had him out for 24 games and they did okay.
Did all right.
Yeah.
21-3. Count 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Orioles up 4-3. Johnson deals. Inside. The fastball. 2-2.
Looks like Johnson's trying to set up a sinker away with that fastball in to move Cano off the plate. Either sinker away or maybe an off-speed pitch, change up away, something away.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Cano on an off-speed pitch, and that'll do it. Here in the 8th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. We go to the 9th. It's 4-3 O's. One against CC. Going for number 20. He's never won 20 in his career. 19-5, 3.02. Our coverage will begin at 6 with the BP show. 6:30 is the pregame. At 7:08, CC will throw the first pitch. Yankees lead this one 4-3 as we go to the top of the 9th and the bottom of the order as Robertson deals to Corey Patterson high. Popped up and out of play.
Patterson's leadoff single in the 7th inning that looped to left field and eventually turned into the go-ahead run.
Koji Uehara warming up in the bullpen.
It was Werner.
There's the strike. Crowd of 46,103 here on Labor Day at the stadium. Many have headed to the exits. Trying to beat the Labor Day traffic. Popped up, shallow left, coming on Gardner. One away.
Trying to get home as those barbecues are being fired up. Maybe for the last time. Put them away. Cover them up.
Here's Cesar Esturris.
That last burger of the summer.
Come on, Kenny, you barbecue.
No, in the fall I do. Like going out there to freeze.
1-1. Count 2-1. The 2-2. Count 3-2. Orioles scored 1 in the third. Yankees answered with 1 in the fourth. Then the Orioles came back with 1 in the fifth and 1 in the sixth. So they were up 3-1. Yankees came back with 2 in the sixth to tie it. And then the Orioles produced a run in the seventh inning with a wild pitch and then a base hit by Brian Roberts. Actually, in the seventh, it was a sac bunt and a base hit by Brian Roberts. As Estura swings and misses at a breaking ball.
There's that good hook by Robertson to pick up a strikeout. And we mentioned that he has come up, wow, sharp, tight breaking ball. And he's come on in the latter stages of the season. Really got it going about midway.
Here's Josh Bell. And there's a strike.
There it is again. See if they keep running with it.
And the pitch. 2-1. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the ninth, then why not? It's Granderson, Posada, and Moeller. And they will probably face Uehara. The 2-1. Hot shot up the middle. A base hit for Josh Bell. That's his second hit of the afternoon. Got a double in the third and now a single here in the ninth.
Yeah, Bell is trying to solidify his position as the third baseman next year. You can see Robertson's reaction to the line drive back through the middle. This is a switch hitter. He's got some power. Maybe some people feel he needs a little more experience in AAA, but he's trying to prove them wrong by finishing up the season strong and be the leading candidate going into spring training to be the third baseman.
Here's Brian Roberts. Big day for him after striking out in the first and 3 straight singles. Pitch is low, 1-0. Nobody up in the Yankee bullpen. They're trusting Robertson to get this final out before giving up another run. Count 1-1. Lofted to left field. Gardner is there, and that'll do it. Can the Yankees rally? If they win this one, there's going to be a pie involved on Labor Day. That's how all barbecues end anyway. Let's see. Jones break down this game against Baltimore and look ahead at the playoff race around the major leagues. Plus, get Joe Girardi's reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. That is a big head that they've drawn there, Kenny. And it's accurate. I think it's drawn the size. Koji Uehara is the closer for the Orioles. He's had 6 saves. They've been looking for a closer all year, so now the baton has been passed to him.
Passed to him. There's been several closers been injured, ineffective. And you can see his walk to strikeout ratio is very, very good. He gets the ball over the plate. A tribute to Elvis.
He is going to face Curtis Granderson. Granderson entered the game for defense, so this is his first at bat. Marcus Timms was in the spot. He was 1 for 3.
Yeah, one of the questions the Orioles have, are they going to bring Uehara back next year? He is signed through this season only, and he's been doing a pretty good job closing ball games for Buck Showalter.
Granderson, a healthy cut, 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. Looking for his 20th win as the Oriole manager against 13 losses. Yankees are looking to make it 19-14. Yankees had won 8 in a row. That was snapped yesterday.
Decent one. He had worked as a starter, had all kinds of injury problems.
High fly ball, right center. Patterson back. He'll make the play in front of the warning track for the first out.
Didn't quite drive it, got underneath it. Good wood, but just up a little on the back. Target's low and away. The pitch doesn't quite get there. You saw Wieters reach back to the middle of the plate. Here is Corey Patterson calling for it. Holding off Nick Markakis and makes the catch. Plenty of time to get underneath that one.
Here's Jorge Posada, and they've moved Colin Curtis out on deck to pinch hit for Chad Moeller. And that would mean if the Yankees would tie the game, they'd move Posada behind the plate. Swing and a miss. And they lose at DH, but don't worry about that. They just want to tie the game. Colin was just called up today. Austin Kern's thumb has been barking. Nick Swisher's knee, so they needed another outfielder. The 0-2.
Uehara works pretty quickly. Doesn't waste much time out there. Many years Uehara worked for the Yomiuri Giants. Was a teammate of Hideki Matsui.
Chad Godin getting ready in case there's a 10th inning. He might change if the game is tied. Maybe he's just getting in some throwing. I don't know why they would go to Chad if the game was tied. You still have Jabba out there, Kerry Wood, and obviously Mariano Rivera, and many others. The 1-2 fouled away. Dave Island and Nick Swisher might be going over Uehara. The 1-2. Swing and a miss on the splitter. And Posada down on strikes. And the Yankees are down to their final out. And that'll bring up the pinch hitter, Colin Curtis.
Take a look. There it is. The splitter grip. He takes a lot off it. It's more like a changeup. You can see Posada well out in front for the strikeout.
Yankees are hoping that Curtis runs into one. There's a strike on deck is Brett Gardner. Uehara's fastball, 89, and then you mix in the splitter. There's nice separation there. 0-2, now down to their final strike.
Well, you watch him, he seems to rely on the fastball to get ahead. And then he thinks about the split as a put away.
Strike 3. Colin Curtis down looking, and the Yankees have lost the game 4-3. Uehara comes in, works a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and that's going to do it for the Yankees as they lose the first game of this 3-game set with the Orioles. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. So for the Yankees, they've now lost 2 in a row after winning 8 straight. Pretty close pitch there, Kenny.
Too close to take with 2 strikes.
But outside.
Yeah, it was outside.
And Buck Showalter in his return to Yankee Stadium in his new job likes what he sees, and so does Uehara. Give you the play of the game and then the post-game show after that. Stay where you are. Yankees lose.